soldiers, Marines, Airmen, and seamen have never ever committed a violent crime in America's history?
Of course. Of course.
Never.
That's 100% true. That's the truest statement I've ever heard about the armed
Dude,
services.
my wife and I, my first duty station at Fort Campbell, we were going for a walk one weekend, and these cops rolled up next to us, and they're like, "Did you guys just hear gunshots?" And we're like, "Bro, what the fuck?" Like, they literally just rolled up, and they like rolled the window, and they're like, "Do you guys just hear gunshots?" I was like, "Why? Did you kill anyone?"
Let's see. Get me to my fucking hangar so I can pull out this Atlas, please, and thank you.
Yeah, dude, come smoke me in
We're
this
gonna race
fucking.
around the extra large tank.
Come
I'm gonna race
smoke
around
me
the
in
entire-
this fucking snake pit with the Atlas.
I'm gonna race around the entirety of the fucking. Can I even pull it out? Wait, how do? I'm just gonna race around the entirety of Orson, brother. You'll see me. I'll be so.
No, not Orson, dude. Kaplan Circuit. You know Kaplan Circuit?
No, I'm in the PTU. You're in the PTU, brother. The
Yeah,
Atlas
but
is
you
only-
still got Kaplan Circuit, dude.
Oh, that's true.
Kaplan's the Orison racetrack.
That's true. Watch.
I could
that. I'm about
probably
to
I could
do
probably
like
do
here.
I could probably do Kaplan Circuit without
I'm
knowing the
about to do
checkpoints.
Of course.
I think I still know it enough.
I love having my
Speaking
own
of which, dude, I still need to run the next time I'm like doing Star Citizen events. I still need to do the Kaplan Circuit drunk event. Did I ever tell you about that?
Oh, wait a minute.
The one where, in order to get in your ship to start the race, you had to drink a certain number
Yeah,
of
I
beers.
was there. I was the one who
So-
did that with you.
Remember, it didn't work because we had the beer limit is too high.
Yeah, we had to figure out the perfect balance between absolutely shit-faced and not.
And just like impossible and challenging. We had to figure out the difference between impossible and challenging. And
Yeah,
like
15 was impossible.
oh, there was well, we did 20 because we did the full blackout before you were allowed to get in your ship. And you were just like zero control, even off the
Let me
rip.
know when you're ready to be completely astounded by this Atlas, brother. I know
Hang
you're
on,
in the
I
middle
just
of a
made
race,
like
but
I just
you're
made like 2
fucking-
turns correctly, so I have to go at least until I die.
Of course, of course.
I made like 2 turns correctly, so I can't fucking break it now.
I'm watching your stream. Don't worry, I got you. I got you.
Oh, that was
wait.
actually the rest of the lap that was not terrible. I mean, like the first half was awful, and I still posted a minute plus. But if I can pull this turn off and then clean up the second half, oh man, I might be under 50 seconds again.
I'm doing it, Zach. I'm pulling it out.
Dude, show him
I'm
speed.
pulling out.
Show me the meaning of speed.
I'm gonna turn around so
Oh,
you can
I
see
fucking
it.
hit something. Jesus. I don't know what I hit because I was drifting way hard in that turn. Let's see what I can save.
I'm gonna be so
If I don't
I'm
crash
gonna be so
again,
fast.
maybe I can save something with only a 5-second penalty. That
I'm so
no
ready
scoop
to do
though. Oof.
Dude, I'm so fucking.
And
I am speed. I am speed.
ka-chow, dude. Ka-chow.
I'm doing
crashed the second time.
speed right now.
Oh, I'm over a minute. Never mind.
Look
the whole
at
round
it.
is fucked.
Look at it, sicka, bro. Look
Oh, dude! Whoa! Slow down, dude! Slow down!
I know.
So I actually have. Let me look it up. I actually have my. Well, this is my best ever recorded lap on Icebreaker. I think I've
You
done
can fit 'em
faster,
on the bomb base.
and it's in an M50. I've done a 109. Oh no, I've done faster than this. This was when I was on keyboard.
Sicka, brother. Are you not paying attention to the newest racing ship of all time?
I don't think he
The
loves
best.
it.
Dude, I was watching it one step at a time.
Oh yeah.
Dude, look at it, he's
He
fucking-
loves it, that's it.
I'm watching it do the stanky leg. Hey, do the stanky leg.
Let's go to Oh, there it is.
You know, I bought one of these, but the only intention is like if they release the fucking Titan suit, just because of how well this one released and how it actually doesn't fucking explode ships when it goes up a ramp.
By the
I'm
way,
hoping that the Titan suits, like the Xeno Slayers, come out. They feel a little better.
Viz, did Regiment still keep like pressuring you to be the game fucking leader for
No, I haven't been in the regiment Discord in like a fat fucking minute. I try to stay away.
I quit Regiment. I don't know if I told you
Yeah.
in Foon.
No, dude, honestly, I don't blame you. You know, for like
Well,
a
I quit
veterans
for
Discord.
a different reason I think you guys might guess.
No way.
Oh, okay.
I just hit a
So-
101.47.
Wait, why did you quit?
The reason that I did quit was, and like some people are going to be like, oh, this is going to sound petty, but I don't think it sounds petty at all. Basically, if you're on any other form of social media, especially as a content creator, like the things you're associated with kind of matter a lot. And
Okay, that's
I
valid.
started to become aware of the fact that Regiment is known as an extremist organization full of racists. Because all of the loudest people with RG tags on their name are just super fucking racist on like Instagram and Twitter all the time. And I brought it up to Chris a few times, and he was like, oh yeah, there's nothing I can do. But I was like, the fuck there is, there's something you can do. Nothing I can do about their personal opinions. They're shitting on your name every single day. And you're like, there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, you can. You can fucking kick them off. You can ban them. You can report them for fucking, you know, falsely claiming to be regiment members after you ban them. All this shit. Like, some of the most vile shit you've ever seen. And it's all RG tags.
Okay.
And then you
so-
see all these other people on Twitter and shit like that. They're like, oh, look at this. Another RG tag being racist as shit. So, like,
so
I was like,
my
I
reason
can't
if
have
you're
an
leaving are
RG
completely
tag
different.
when everyone else is like, everyone else in the world is like, oh, look, an RG tag.
know,
5 seconds until he fucking says the hard R, you know?
Okay, so my
So I was
reason
like,
and your
I can't-
reason are
I can't-
completely separate, brother.
Well,
They're
no,
completely
so
different.
the first reason was like, they kind of start demanding a lot from you. And the second reason was like, I started running out of reasons to be able to be like, that's that person's opinion. Like the first person I was like, the whole org is racist. And I was like, okay, that's a bit of a generalization, you know? But then I started seeing it from a lot of different people. And then I started seeing a lot of regiment members who are actually being that way. And then I started seeing like a bunch of regiment members who were like, you know, artists and creators. And, you know, like they started spilling the tea on like all the fucking dirty shit that Chris was trying to make them do. And I was like, okay, this org actually is a piece of shit money grab. I ended up finding out all the tea behind like the leadership and shit.
That's fair. No, the reason I left is because they were too fucking PC about everything. I couldn't say, like, I couldn't even like shoot a harmless joke without getting shit on. So,
Which is
That's why I don't
ironic
hang
because
there.
like, yeah, if you
Exactly.
just did
That's
that
why
on Twitter, yeah, if you did that on Twitter, bro, they'd have been like, you're not going hard enough. Like, I'm sorry, hard R or else.
oh, there's a ladder down here. That's
Dude, it was wild. Like, and it was like, the thing for me was like, you know, the biggest associations I had with Regiment was twofold. It was the people I met through Regiment, and it was like the viewership or like the visualization I had with like being seen as a member, you know, and like being a member of an org, most of it is just being seen as a member of that org, especially like when you're trying to be into content creation, you know, like if FaZe is famous for having just sponsoring people with shit takes, then you don't necessarily want to be a member of FaZe, do ya? Because everyone's going to be like, oh, you got signed by FaZe, therefore you're just going to like, you're going to have a controversy in 5, 4, 3, and that's where Regiment was going.
That's fair.
How many gamer words can I say in a video?
Yeah, exactly.
The answer is a
And
lot.
that's where like Regiment, and I even like talked to Chris about it, and I was like I've met the dude, you know. And I don't know, my general opinion is if you don't know Chris very well, your opinion is going to be that he's a cool guy who's all about his org. But if you ever meet somebody who has a problem with him, and then you're like, hey man, what's going on with this problem? His answer to everything is, man, I can do nothing about that. I don't control their life. And like, that has to do with, you know, like the KKK members that he supports. That has to do with, you know, the America First members that he supports. That has to do with, like, you know, the violent homophobic people that he supports. And it's all just the same answer, dude. It's all, oh, I can't do nothing about that. Yeah, fucking right, dude. All right. You know, like, how about ban them from Regiment? Oh, I can't do that. You're the fucking CEO of Regiment. You can ban fucking anyone for any reason. Like, get that pussy shit out of my fucking face. Look, if you want to be like hating on a certain minority or whatever, don't be a pussy about it. At least fucking own up to it.
It's a valid take.
Dude's a pussy. But he's like, you know, he's all about being a Marine, so like he'll never admit to being a pussy. Dude's a fucking pussy.
Anything I hang out with him, don't teach me to check. Because like, being a pussy, alright.
Yeah, right? Dude, you can tell me, hey, you're being a pussy, and I'll be like, you know what? Maybe I should stop. You're probably fucking right.
Yeah, maybe I should chill out.
Hey, if I'm being a pussy about something, maybe I should just fucking, I don't know, take a minute, take a breath, check myself, go outside for a minute. You know?
Go touch. I would say touch some grass, but you're in Arizona. I said go touch some sand or something.
Yeah, I say touch some grass. Motherfucker, what grass? I need to have like a fucking, I need to have like a fake dog, like, you know those little dog pee pads? I need to like put one in my stream room, but it's for me. Touch some grass, motherfucker, I'm trying to.
My bad. Yeah, let me do that real quick.
But no, that was the issue that I had with him. And like, I confronted him about all of like, it was like, hey, guess what? You're a guy who's kind of refusing to like do anything about the extremist, insane hate shit that I'm seeing growing in your community. So like, does that mean you're okay with it? And he was like, yeah, I can't do anything about it. Which means, yes, I support it.
Yeah. I mean, that's unfortunate.
At the same time, it's kind of like very contradictory to why I stopped hanging out over there. You know?
Well, I mean,
it's wild,
kinda
dude.
tells you
It's
something
wild.
about, like, they
Well, because
probably just
who
didn't
did
like
you
as
interact
a
with?
person, because-
That's the question: is who did you interact
Yeah,
with?
it's so that just means somebody didn't like you.
Because
that's all.
Do you know Corporal Doctor? So she was another big Star Citizen player, but like not really big into like the competitive side of it. She's also like an artist. She does a lot of like stream overlays and emote work and shit like that. And like she was telling me, dude, like, because I started talking to her a bit when I was like streaming on the Regiment Twitch channel, and she was also doing it too on some of the time slots. And she's a pretty cool person, but like, you know, she was like, dude, Chris would hit me up at 2 o'clock in the morning saying like, I need this artwork done by 4 o'clock. Like all the fucking
I have
time.
a life outside of this. Relax.
Yeah, but then half the artwork that she did, like he didn't pay her.
That's weird.
She wasn't getting paid.
Why would you do it then?
But then there was like a couple of other artists that were getting these like really long timelines, and they were getting paid. And she started to notice that everyone who was getting paid was white. And then there was a couple other artists that started talking about the same thing, and eventually they were like, wait, you noticed that too? And it turned out that yes, everyone who wasn't white wasn't getting paid, and they were getting treated like shit. And they were like, after a certain point, they were like, this is a fucking racist ass org. Like, it's not just an accusation. Like, they were like, bro, we got receipts at this point.
Could be mildly racist.
I was like, and when I started hearing about that shit, that's when I was like, you know, really starting to notice all of the fucking insane motherfuckers that were allowed to talk crazy on Twitter without like any repercussions. And I was like, no wonder they're not getting in trouble, dude. Fucking they're endorsed by Chris. So that's what this motherfucker's about, bro.
It's a little too clicky for me.
Yeah, he's into veterans as long as they're white and men.
Oh. I don't fit one of those.
Because you're a beautiful woman. Shut up.
But the thing is, like, you know, I interacted mostly with the leadership and through Twitter, and you interacted mostly through Discord with the Star Citizen game manager. So like, you probably had some fucking dude who was trying to be like extra PC because he was worried about, like, you know, he didn't know what his job was and he was trying to like worry about his fucking job or whatever. And I was dealing with like the fucking way people, outsiders look at us. You
It's
know,
not only just that. I called them out, and like I tried providing like a service for them, right? Like not like artwork or anything like that. Like, hey, I know a little bit about flying in Star Citizen,
yeah.
right? And I can help you guys out, right? I'd
Yeah.
have people reach out to me, and then out of nowhere, it's just like, oh yeah, dude, I'm so interested in doing this, blah, 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 blah. And
Yo,
then
Evil,
next thing you
what's up, bro?
know, they just go dark on me. I'm like, okay, cool. So, and then I called them out on it, and then I guess they didn't like it too much. I didn't get banned, but they didn't like
No, I
the
mean, they
fact
didn't
that I
ban me
called them.
either. I just fucking hit them up and I was like, bro, I'm out. But I had
called
to
them
like,
pussies, and
yeah.
who was right about the one thing too, because it's like,
well, I did the same
yeah,
thing.
maybe your experience is completely opposite to mine, right?
Yeah,
To me,
but we
it
interacted
seems
with
like
different
they
people
were-
though.
Yeah, to me, it seems like they were incredibly PC, like fucking signal virtue up the ass kind of fucking deal type shit, right?
I mean, I saw a bit
Eh.
of that in the Discord, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and me and
but it
Phil,
was a
we're not-
total
we're not
disconnect,
fucking
too.
fans of that, dude.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
like, you're not pieces of shit. Like, if somebody's saying, hey, you're not being PC enough, they're like, if somebody was like, hey, Viz and Foon weren't being PC enough, my guess would be like, would they call somebody an idiot for having a stupid take? I mean, like, if you're an idiot, hey, sometimes you get called an idiot.
You know, it's too well because that's what me and Boone exactly do.
What is that exactly it? Like, I'm sorry, but if you come off and you're like completely
It's not- it
unhumble, the thing about it
wasn't
is
that.
with a lot of people, and especially veterans that I've noticed, like, and that's what I noticed about like Yumi and Foon is like we have this kind of trait as well. Is like, if somebody comes out there and they have this take where they're like, I know what's fucking right, and they're completely unhumble about it, and it's wrong, we're gonna be like, hey, fucking idiot, check yourself. But like, if somebody's like, hey, I heard that the M50 was actually the best racing ship, we're gonna be like, nah, bro, it really ain't. But man, like, let me show you what the best racing ship is. It's about the approach. It's about, if you don't know something, be humble. It's not that hard.
It's not that. It's not that. Sicko, relax. No, it wasn't that. It was the reason why I don't like hanging out there. Yes, because I thought they were too PC. Is because one day me and Foon, we were just hanging around, playing around, doing our thing. And, you know, I thought it was a very chill environment. Everybody started making jokes, like borderline jokes.
Oh, I
made a
always back
joke.
off on those just because I never know
We made a
where
joke.
some asshole's
Yeah.
gonna put the line.
We made a joke that might have tipped over the line, you know? Typical.
But even
Foon
then,
behavior.
somebody can be like, hey, man, like, you know, they give you the little fucking, you know, slash across the throat, like, hey, man, dial it back a little bit. And you'd be like, you
No,
can take
they
a
didn't
hint.
do that.
You
They
know?
just hit us with the hardcore virtual signal. I'm like, oh, dude, that's not right. We don't do that out here. I'm like, okay, dude. I'm like sitting here. It's like, okay, I thought we were all chill about it, but
Look, I've had people that made jokes I didn't like in like my stream, and I'm like, hey man, we don't really joke like that here, and they're like, oh fuck, my bad, and that was the end of it.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
Like, some people, look, what people don't understand is echo chambers. What people don't
Yeah.
understand is spaces. You know, like, I can live my entire life in a space where having a thick skin is like one of the best things you can have. That's one of the best attributes. And then I can make a joke that directly connects with like a really serious trauma in somebody else. and it fucking destroys their entire week. Like suddenly they're having panic attacks or something. That's not great, obviously, right? That's not great. We don't want that. So like maybe I'd start deciding, hey, I'm gonna try to foster a space where, you know, that type of stuff doesn't really happen. You know, like we don't joke quite as hard. And so somebody comes in and they start joking that hard, and I'm like, hey man, we don't really do that here. And then they understand, they take the hint. Or they become a giant asshole about it, and it's like, well, look, we don't do that here. You can do that somewhere else, but not here. And I'll be firm on that. I've done it before. You know, I've had people come in with like objectively racist shit, and they're like, what, it's not racist? And it's like, yeah, okay, buddy, whatever. Go back to your fucking like third cousins and fucking your little echo chamber about that. But I mean, hell, half of fucking human existence is being able to read a fucking room.
This is a true statement. Just because it's a true statement doesn't mean I'm good at it.
Well, I mean, but there's good and there's bad, but like for example, I know you pretty well, and like you don't have like
he gives a shit. I think that's the thing. I don't think he gives.
The thing
a
is
shit,
like,
really.
well,
And I'm not about to make you.
But intentions matter, dude. Intentions matter too.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, like
I don't
for
think this
example,
is
I have a
outside
first-time
the
chatter.
species.
If I have a first-time chatter who comes in and he wants to make 1,000 sexist jokes in 4 seconds because I'm playing with Tina, for example, I'm going to have a strong suspicion that it's actually her ex-boyfriend. You know?
Well, we were talking about other people like that harass people. Yeah, people are fucking weird, man.
Well, but that's a real world example. That's a real world situation. Yeah. I've banned 12 of his accounts. 12. The guy's a stalker.
You can count that high, Sicko? Damn.
I know, right? Yeah, dude, Army versus Marines, brother.
No wonder he made it so far into the Army.
Hey, Army versus Marines, bro, man. No, but yeah, that's a real world example right there. But like, you know, somebody who's like a friend who I know, and they cross the line, I'm gonna be like, hey man, you kind of crossed the line a little bit there.
I know that's how you do it because you did it with Foon, and Foon told me about it, so I get it.
Yeah, and like there was one time where like I kind of corrected Foon a little bit, and he didn't take it super well, and we kind of got into it. But then like right after it, like I fucking got off because I was like, I'm done, dude. You know, because like obviously for me it was like that the conversation wasn't going anywhere. Like we were both just resisting each other. So I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm out. And then he hit me up like a couple minutes later, and he was like, I don't want to end it like this. And I was like, neither do I. And we talked it out.
No, because that's how you're supposed to handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're supposed to
Like
just
me and
talk,
Foon are
yeah.
tight.
You get it out.
Like we had that one time where we fucking butted heads real hard, and we butted head pretty hard. But he approached me like a fucking man, and we talked about it.
He texted me about it. He's like, yeah, me and Sicko got into it. I'm like, okay.
Hey, look, man, I got principles. Sometimes I'm real fucking big about them, and sometimes it's a problem for people. I don't know.
He just texted me the other night. He's like, yeah, me and Sicko got into it. Oh, okay, cool.
Dude, when me and Foon made up,
Tell me more.
no, when me and Foon made up, dude, we were like, let's fucking have some shots, man. Like, dead ass, bro. We were like, let's fucking have some shots, man. We got drunk, bro.
That's a Foon experience right there.
Yeah, no, like straight up. But it was one of those things where I was like ready to never talk to him again in my life because I was like, you know, I told you where I'm coming from, and you basically told me to go fuck myself. And it went from that to being Foon like, I don't want to end it like this. And I was like, neither do I. And then we went back and we talked about it, and we were fucking men about it.
That's how you resolve things. Question mark?
Yeah, we weren't little bitches. We weren't fucking holding grudges.
I mean, if people are going to react that way and
worked.
they leave it that way, right? Then you just don't need them in your life. I mean, that's negativity you don't want. Like, you don't have to fucking deal with, dude. Like, just let it go.
Well, and that's something that I've been trying to, like, explain to my wife, like, since we were kids together. Like, I've had friends that we had together that I fucking dropped. And she's like, I don't understand how you can drop people like that. And I was like, I'll explain it. It's really fucking simple.
good people.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, it comes down
this
to, like,
person
communication and
is a
boundaries,
friend.
man. They
Yeah.
cross your boundary, it's it.
If somebody is a friend, they're just a friend, you know? If I am married to that person, there are certain legal things binding me to them. But if they're a friend and I decide that they don't add anything to my life, I'm gonna confront them. All right, so I'm having a struggle on this, but it's 90% of the time.
watching.
Dude, you see this shit at like 10 FPS this entire fucking time?
You're nicking every corner, brother.
I know, I'm at like fucking, I'm playing slideshow mode, dude. I can't even see where I'm going.
Restart your fucking client then.
Oh no, it's Cox acting.
I might have to restart my PC, but like, I don't want to do that in the middle of a stream. Like, you know what I mean?
That's fair.
I'm gonna restart my client. We'll see if that helps.
Did you hear? Anzura and River left.
Did they really?
Do you remember? Yeah,
I'm not surprised, but is there like tea behind it that needs to be off stream or?
No. So I'll just tell you the official thing. They didn't like how, because obviously with a lot of us having poured a lot of hours into the previous flight model, we were very upset with the current flight model.
So they were afraid
So
their
what-
org was dying and they got mad people were leaving.
I mean, that plays a part into it as well too. No, but it's more or less like, they were not happy with the inactivity, and Sil kind of put it best. Like he says, you can't force people to play a game they don't want to play.
True.
Which is fair.
Well, so like, as an org leader, you do have a little bit of leverage. You can say, I'll ban you if you're not live for 6 months straight.
Sil's not like that, dude.
Well, that's the thing.
big focus
You
of Fox and
can
Pack
do
is
that, but like, you can be that guy who does that, or you can be that person who doesn't do that. But you have to make that choice. You can't be both.
Oh, dude, Sil's the complete opposite of that guy, dude. He goes, yeah, you guys take care of your life first. The game will always come second.
Yeah.
Which is the thing.
And that's
'cause, I don't know.
that's the only successful take that's going to work long term.
Yeah, dude, no. 'Cause
You have to be real.
Sil is living proof that life comes first. Because what's it called? He fucking took a break from the game because he had a little GoFundMe for a while because he was running into some trouble IRL and everything.
Yeah.
He took
Damn,
care
I
of
wish
it,
I
and
saw that. I didn't look at the Discord for so long.
that was like way before I even got in.
Oh, okay.
And
I respect him for that.
He always takes care of his IRL first, but then had some trouble, and since we're all homies over there, he reached out. They helped out.
So like there was a part of me. Oh fuck, I'm on online, not offline. There was a part of me, and I didn't want to like stir the pot or anything, but like there's a part of me that didn't really like hanging out with Anzra and River. Just because of how like abrasive they are when they don't have to be. And like every single time that like if I would play, I would be like, hey, let's play with my fucking Vox family, and I'd be streaming and they'd be like, can you fucking not stream? And I'd be like, Jesus Christ, that was 5 seconds after I joined,
You're not the only one that shared that view, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. And so I had a suspicion, even though I didn't want to like spread the tea and like spread drama and say it out loud, but I was like, I'm pretty sure that Anzra just liked being the only streamer.
I'm not gonna say anything, but she did like attention.
It was always OPSEC except for her stream. And I started noticing that shit, and that's why I started just doing my own stream and doing my own thing in my own space without Vox.
You can, she's not there anymore. You can come back if you want.
I probably will. Now, for the most part of like, because I've been missing and I've been wanting to come back and I've been wanting to get a little bit more into PvP because like, Master Modes is here to stay and I do owe it to myself to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been thinking a lot about coming back to Vox lately. The massive reason that I've been coming back to SE in the first place is low flying. So that's why I haven't really done anything with Vox, is because I'm here with the LFN, and like that's
No,
another
no.
org I'm a part of.
Yeah, no pressure, because you know Kamak, right? Lord Kamak, he does some low
Yeah,
flying stuff too.
yeah, I know him. He's actually really good.
He's part of Vox too.
Oh, is he
And
really now?
Yeah, he is. I managed to convince him. I killed him.
No, he's a chill dude. I like him.
Yeah,
I don't
he's-
know his stream like intimately, but like I know
It's-
of him, and I know he's a
he's
pretty
pretty
cool
cool.
dude.
He got hit with Milton. He got hit with the Milton shit, so he's not streaming for a while.
Oh,
But
and then
he's part of Horde.
freaking, what's my boy there? Mustache Man. Fuck, we had him join.
Bog.
Bog, yeah, Bog. I fucking love Bog, dude. I'm good friends with like a bunch of his mods too.
Yeah, I mean, the
And
only thing
like Leezy,
no
I'm good
pressure.
friends with Leezy.
like I said, it's no pressure, because I mean, like, fucking Kamak is part of Vox. Yeah, he does some Vox stuff. He does some trainings with me because he wants to get better.
Fuck my life, dude. My first lap was just 51 seconds.
He wants to get better, right? So I
Yeah,
respect
no,
that.
and that's why I'm part of
But
Vox too. Is like I like Vox being like a sister org of PAX. However, it's not PvP necessarily focused, but like everyone there like has an interest in improving themselves, and that's what got me. That's what got me to actually be like, fuck it, I'm joining.
Yeah, no, it's no pressure, dude. Because what's it called? Fucking Kamak has his own org too. The cult.
I just-
he runs it himself too.
Yeah, no, for my thing, it was like, and I don't want to sound really petty, but ultimately, like, everything that I had against Fox at the time, or like playing with Fox anyway, it was really just Ansra.
What's wrong with that, dude? It's good that you voiced
She was kind of being a bitch, man. Like, and I'm not much to be like a big hater, but like, there were some times where I joined while streaming, just to be like, hey guys, watch this. She's gonna ask me not to stream. And boom, like fucking clockwork. She's gonna be like, can you just not stream? It's bad OPSEC. And I'd be like, okay, like kind of in my head, like, way to be a bitch about it. You know, like.
Nothing wrong with that, dude. Like I'm telling you, she's, you know.
I also, do you
get
know
it.
Arc VR?
Yes.
I've had a lot of offline conversations with him, and I know a little bit of her history that she doesn't tell people.
Like that she was part of Griefer Nut for a while.
Oh no, a lot more than that. I know her old name before she was Anzra. And I know what she used that name for.
I'm not gonna get into it. I'm only talking
Yeah.
bad behind people's backs.
No,
Yeah,
it's like, but like that's
to their
so
face.
like
Where are they at?
there were a lot of times where like I was hit up, like, so I'd be streaming and shit, and like Ark would hit me up on Discord or something offline, and he'd be like, hey, are you sure about associating with a couple of these people? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, they're just trying to teach me how to be better at PvP. He's like, brother, there's a couple of things I have to share with you. And that dude keeps receipts on everything. Don't ever piss off Ark, by the way. That dude keeps, if you're ever in the wrong, that guy's got receipts of it. So if you're gonna piss off Ark VR, make sure you're in the right.
Ark hasn't talked shit in sodium nuggets.
So he is often in Sodium Nuggets, and he often is button heads with Griefer and
That's
Head.
funny.
But dude, his receipts are, I guarantee you, more legit than Griefer and Head's receipts. I've seen them, bro.
Some of his takes are questionable.
Well, okay, no, some of his takes I don't agree with. However, the things that he's told me about certain specific people who have done certain specific things, it would take a good goddamn fucking lawyer to convince me otherwise that they did not do those things. Because he has good receipts. I know some people's names, like, before they changed. I know when and how they changed their name, and I know people that they talked to about changing their name who are actually fucking sleeper plants.
Crazy what? Keeping my head down and doing my own thing.
Oh my god, dude, that's what I was thinking, bro. I was like,
That's what
the
I do.
fucking tea that I've heard that I just kept my mouth shut about, and I just never had to be a part of all that shit. My god, dude, the
that's why,
bullet
like,
we fucking
yeah.
dodged.
being neutral is best here. Like,
I keep fucking
these
throwing my nose
communities
up in the
are fucking
air.
weird as shit sometimes.
Well, so I actually I do a lot of road tripping, and a lot of that was because when I was in Georgia, I would road trip up to my house in New Hampshire every time I took leave. And this is gonna make sense in like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I listened to a lot of like audiobooks and podcasts, and one of the podcasts that I listened to was a 5-hour video documentary on the history and intricate politics of EVE Online. This is where all of these nerds come from. All these super sweaty, angry PvPers, they come from EVE Online, where it's normal to spend 2 years on an account, joining a server, making friends, doing jobs, becoming integral to that corporation, and then boom, you were a sleeper all along. You know, hacking people, doxing people to like, oh, this person is way too swatted and doxed to get online today, so therefore, you know, they can't message their squadron to get online, so we're going to have an advantage in the battle because their people aren't going to be there. That is the reality in EVE Online, and that is the fucking mindset that all these fucking idiot nerds in the PvP Star Citizen community have. That is, when you watch it like Avenger 1's Rings 1, Rings 2, Rings 3, fucking whatever, that's the shit that all these guys are talking about. That's the shit that this is how they think, this is how they operate. They have offline Discord calls about how to find out shit about people so they can fuck with them, cyberbully them, to keep them offline so that when they have a squadron battle, that person won't be there so they have an advantage. What fucking psychopath thinks that makes sense?
I mean, it does make
That's EVE Online shit.
I mean, is
that's,
it right? No.
That's all EVE Online shit. You know, and I was getting that vibe from River and Anzra, and that's why I was like, oh, well, good luck. I'll be here when I'm here, but don't count on me. Because I'm not going to be part of that shit, dude. Oh, hey, guess what? We're going to have an org battle, so we're going to just dox somebody so that they won't show up, and therefore we win the org battle. Fuck off, dude. Like, that's psychopath shit.
Yeah, listen, man. Can you like not stream those so that way there's no record of this? You know. Like,
Yeah, and she would hit me with that shit all the time. It would be like, oh, you can't stream. Like, oh, I just got killed, so therefore it must be sick of streaming why I got killed. It's fucking, dude, that shit would drive me nuts. And like, I didn't talk about it for so long because it was just like, I guess, you know what? If I can't stream around Vox, then I just won't be around Vox. You know, like, I'll catch them when I catch them in Arena Commander for practice sessions offline, and we'll all be chill because everyone that I've ever practiced with was instructive, was helpful, but anytime we were doing any kind of org v org shit, it would just go max level toxic, and it was always 1 or 2 people who were doing that. But like, anytime that I ever sat down with any of my fellow Vox mates to like Arena Commander practice, or any time that like Arcane sat down to like teach us something, it was fucking awesome, dude. That's how a PvP org should be. We were instructive, we were friendly. Everyone was good-natured, dude. It was awesome. It was like, this is the org that I thought I was joining, and then every time we did anything that was actually PvP out in the PU, I was like, what the fuck did I get myself into?
Drama.
It was all drama, dude. All of it. And like,
Yeah,
a lot of it I didn't talk
agree.
about just because I was like, I'm just gonna distance myself instead.
Yeah, it tends to be what I do too.
It got me away from a lot of the drama, so I don't regret doing it. But like, now that we're kind of
That's
like the
good.
corks out of the bottle, like, oh, that's all the tea I had right there. That's it. That's it. That's
How do
all
you
the
feel?
tea. That's
How do
every
you
thought
feel? You feel good now?
I feel like
Feel
I
a
just
little
let
better?
out every internal thought that just got vindicated.
Well, good. Maybe you can go ahead and pull a faster lap.
Did you not see the 51 I just pulled?
That's better.
It's better. My fucking personal record is a 45. It's pretty damn close to a personal record.
Let's see. Maybe you should talk about this shit more.
Still not using
Talk
a
about all
meta
the
ship.
drama, dude. Become a drama content creator.
By the way, my personal lap was in a Merlin, not an M50.
But yeah, no, I mean, that's how it is now, Sick.
Oh, fuck, I hit the hill.
Playing together. It's just at the end of the day, it's just us playing together. Not any other business.
Well, knowing that, I'll definitely be more willing. Because, like, the reason that I was, like, even when I was doing shit solo, or, like, maybe, like, sitting here thinking about streaming, not sure what game I wanted to play, like, I'd still look at Vox, I'd still look at people in Vox, and I'd be like, you know, like, I don't know if I'm ready to, like, deal with the potential of what's going on in there. But, like, knowing that the real toxic elements of
Lab complete.
are not really a part of
They
it
seem to be
anymore.
pretty positive for the most part.
They
Yeah, I
are.
was gonna say,
They
like,
are. It was
lately,
literally two.
like,
It was
they've been
literally two
recruiting
people.
pretty heavily now too.
It was literally two people that fucked it all up for me. And I didn't want to admit it, but like it really was just two people.
It's funny how two people made it for you and two people fucked it.
I know.
It'll take some time.
I mean,
No, I
ultimately,
understand.
you know, Regiment was more than two people, but it was like, it was a few people being shitty and like 2 or 3 people refusing to deal with it. So like, it really is like, dude, leadership, fucking, all these gamer nerds don't understand leadership, bro. Leadership makes a difference. Like, if I'm sitting here, like in my Twitch community that I've built, and somebody makes an off-color joke, and I say, hey, dude, we don't do that here. And they go, well, fuck you and your pussy shit. I ban them. What do you think the rest of my community takes from that situation? It's pretty
I don't know,
clear,
I
isn't
suppose I
it?
wouldn't say something along those lines.
You know, it's pretty clear. Hey, I told the guy, we don't do that. He told me he doesn't give a shit. So I told him, no, you. Oh, by the way, guess what? I have more power in that situation too. So who's gonna win that? You know, but like, the way that you act shapes how other people act. It's a basic fact of life. People can be like, doesn't work on me. Yeah, it fucking does.
Just be aware whenever you hop in the box now, have, like, since multi-crew ships are so prevalent now, that's probably, like, what they're gonna be in, like, 90% of the time.
Well, that's actually really cool. Oh, I just hit 50 flat.
It's funny, because one of the guys, Macaroni, would always, like, you guys want to hop in an M? Yeah,
Ah,
let's do
fuck.
it."
Well, because, like, they have, what, that engineering thing in Arena Commander, and it's like, that's something that we're going to have to kind of be proficient at, isn't it?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, didn't they have it? Oh, it was just for a little while?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And it was like the most basic version of it too. It was literally just grabbing a fuse and running from one side of the ship to the other, basically.
I dig that, though, because that's something that's like, think about it, they're only going to build off it. You know, it's like,
What would the team do?
I'm a big Final Fantasy 14 player, right? And when Final Fantasy 14 says, I have this split yellow AoE marker that marks an AoE with 4 arrows pointing inward at a specific player. For the rest of the time you play this game, you're going to understand that means that everyone has to stack and share the damage. That's how I view engineering. You know, oh, it was really simple, but you have to like just move a fuse to a new spot. That's the most simple version of what we're going to deal with in the future. Being proficient at that is really, really good.
Can you imagine, you know, like how like a lot of fucking people have been playing with the old flight model, right? With PvP, they got really upset with master mode changes, right? I can't wait for all the people who get used to engineering, and then the engineering changes come, and they get pissed about the engineering changes. We get to see that half of it.
Oh, I can't wait. Because that's also part of just like the tea that we're just going to be sitting back
Yeah, it's
sipping
just
on.
growth, you know? Yeah, yeah, exactly. You know, like fuck, but you know, back in my day, it
That's
was
why-
like this.
That's why I've avoided being too mad about master modes, is because it's like, I'll be vocal and mad about something that I have the
Yeah.
ability to change. But when it comes to
That's
master
the thing,
modes,
is, like, give your
you know,
feedback.
yeah, some people just be
Yeah.
like, well, this is my deal breaker, I don't want to play anymore. And that's 100% their prerogative as a gamer. But, you know, me, I know that I'm still all in on Star Citizen. There's Star Citizen's gonna have to do a lot of shit to alienate me fully. Like I just like the vision of the game. They're gonna have to do a lot to get rid of me. So when it comes to that, like I'm not quitting Star Citizen, and I'm also not getting rid of master modes. So I better get used to master modes.
Yeah, I just play the game as is, you know, and that's what I tell people. Like, when you come into the game, like, just be prepared for things to change. They're gonna change.
Yeah.
They're always gonna change. Never gonna stop changing.
Yeah, it's an alpha, dude.
You know, there's gonna be different metas even going forward. Like, and it's funny to even say that there's metas in an alpha game, right?
Yeah, like I know the alpha's been out for a while, but bro, it still is an alpha.
Yeah, but it's, you know, but it's exactly, but it's still, you know, it's still in fucking development. So things are constantly fucking changing. Like, we don't even know what the fuck armor is gonna look like here in the next like few months or some shit.
Bro, you want to start a shitstorm on any social media? Just say the word insurance.
Lab complete.
Yeah, true.
You'll start a fucking social media shitstorm anywhere. Spectrum, Reddit, Twitter. It don't matter, dude.
I got mine backed up every single one of my shirts.
You know what I got? I got fucking 2 hands and 2 legs, ready to make money. I got Lamber fucking feeties, brother. I got a starter ship that no one can take from me.
I just learned how to manipulate CCH.
A lot of people have. And you know what? That's an entire metagame too. But you know what I do? I learned how to do mercenary missions. I don't do CCU chains. I do mercenary missions. Or, you know, bounty hunter missions. I can do those too. Oh, I overdid that turn. Fuck. That was almost a really, really great lap.
Lab complete.
It was still 105 even with a 5-second penalty.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. We did the 2K clear technique.
Yeah.
Oh, I underdid that turn.
Yeah, I didn't even see how that went actually today. Yeah, it didn't go too bad. So you mean it went about as well as all the others? Okay.
The only one you know, I'll see it when I'll believe it when
Yeah.
I see it, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly, man. Like I don't know how to take it. Like I'll again I just play it as is, right? As it is right now.
Yeah, and honestly, like, you know, like Foon gives me shit all the time about this stuff, but like half the reason I like this game is Bob shit. And it, like, I like Foon, you know, he gives me shit all the time about the Bob shit I like because he's a competitive guy, and I fucking appreciate that about him. He's a very like winning oriented guy.
Lab complete.
This is true.
And he's got the energy, you know, for the competition. And, yeah, dude, I used to play with Army Esports for PUBG. I used to fucking, like, I used to be in that whole I want to be on a stage one day shit. And, yeah, guess what? That chapter of life, my life is just not there anymore. I just want to be out here and enjoy myself, bro. Now, PvP is an important part of that in Star Citizen because I want to be successful in this universe. If somebody attacks me, I want to have a greater than 50% chance of killing them. I don't want to be the best in the game.
That's a green light just to go ahead and find him and kill him.
Exactly.
He wants practice. Do you hear that, Viz?
Yeah, that's right.
Him out. Like, all right,
Stream
we're here,
sniping
you
is
know,
valid,
here
dude.
for,
Send
know,
Griefernet after me.
I would never shoot.
we would never hunt you down just for funsy onesies.
Dude, my FPS is fucking dog right now. I just crashed into a pole because I couldn't see. In a straightaway.
Fly out and surf.
Dude, it's rough. Let me see if I can do any better on like Icebreaker. Icebreaker is like my track. If I can do better, I can do it on Icebreaker. Atmosphere is different though. I mean, if your roll angle isn't correct, your nose is fucking skyward. It's a lot more punishing at these
You have
speeds.
access, if you want to see how your ships react in atmosphere in the fucking PTU, You should have access to it. They opened it up to all backers.
So I have access to the
just wanna
PTU.
download it.
I've just never ever, yeah, I've just never wanted to download it. Like somebody was like, no, bro, you have to, and so I did, and I played it, and I used like the two-handed tractor beam, literally fucking 18 hours before they put it on PU, and I was like, this is cool. Anyway, let's go do something, you know. And it was like, look, when early 2022, when I got into Star Citizen in the first place, I was watching like Pep, and he was like doing some fucking FPS mission. I think it involved like a wreck or something, and he was like, oh, I was like, bet, dude, he can shoot people and loot their bodies, and like he can do a mission and get paid for doing the mission. I was like, bro, that's what I've been waiting for. You know, like you couldn't do that shit when I first played. You couldn't take a mission. You couldn't complete that mission and get paid for it. You couldn't use that money you got paid to buy a ship. That shit didn't exist. The only ships you had were the ones you paid real money for. And so like when I saw him doing that shit, it set a real low bar for what I want out of this game. So like when somebody's like, oh man, like cargo missions are available in the PTU, you should like see if you can maybe subscribe and get in wave 1. I'm like, I'll see it eventually. I don't really give a shit.
Yeah, maybe you should subscribe and get in the wave 1.
So like the one time somebody convinced me, he's like, no, you have to see this in PTU. So I downloaded the PTU like on stream for like 2 fucking hours, and we like just sat there and looked at each other for a while. And then I did it, and I was like, this is a two-handed tractor beam. And, okay.
3, 2, 1.
And it was
Thank you,
boring as fuck.
Kanye, very cool.
Yeah. It was boring as fuck. We got nothing out of it, and it was like, and I was like, hey man, that was, you know, kind of fun to check out, but literally the next day it was on PU.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're talking about dropping 324 to.
I've heard rumors. I've heard some people say rumors were today.
No. That's the sitcom.
So that would be my guess. Like, I mean, with SitCon a week away, they're not dropping shit.
No, they are, because that's when they're going to be dropping the 2 Zeus models. And SitCon is perfect timing for, you know, money grabs.
After SitCon is perfect time to announce and drop.
So they're talking about announcing the new Mirai Heavy Fighter.
The Guardian.
Yeah.
Mirai Heavy Fighter.
Just
Isn't
crazy.
Mirai a
It's
fucking
really
racing
fun.
brand of Misk?
Kinda.
They're the military branch, or they're like
Yeah.
the fighter branch, kind of, yeah.
Yeah,
Their
it's like
first shit they
Xi'an.
released-
They're Alien and Misk, like as like a co-op together, and they make alien
I thought-
human ships.
I thought the whole purpose was...
Did you hear?
Well, I guess the first one was an interceptor, technically, so...
Yeah.
The first... You're real quiet. What'd you say?
I said the Guardians gonna have like
2 size 5s, yeah. Be fucking
Wait,
nuts. I
it's
love
a
it.
heavy fighter with 2 size 5s?
Yes.
Isn't that going to be a
Yes.
huge problem because its fucking muzzle velocity is going to be
Shut
like
up,
0?
it doesn't matter. Shut up, it doesn't matter. Shut up, it doesn't matter.
That is why
That's what
you
happened.
don't... That is literally the reason why you do not put size 4s on a Talon. Is because it's like,
Shut
you'd be better off
What
with bigger capacitors on a size 3.
No, so actually the size 4s are amazing on the town. Don't sleep on
Yeah,
them.
they are.
Dude, I
It's a
used to
dumpster
run it
most
all the
people.
time, and like I had so many people would be like, "You use size 4s on a Talon? Like, ew, you're sacrificing so much."
But
It's
people are
different
ding
now.
dogs.
It's different now. It's different now.
That's true too.
It's different
It depends when you were using it.
It was a while ago.
It's 100% different now because the DPS difference between a size 3 and a size 4 it was fucking crazy, right? But with the Guardian being a there you go. Fucking with the Guardian having 2 size 5s.
Oh, you
that
so
thing
sound
is
so much
gonna-
better now.
Yeah, I just turned it around because I don't have a my fucking mic isn't connected to my headset anymore. It's like a separate mic kind of deal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but what's this called? Yeah, the Mirai Heavy Fighter is gonna have a size 5, 2 size 5s on it. That's gonna be disgusting, dude.
That's if size 5s, yeah, because like.
Yeah.
Back when I
But-
was like getting told all about it, like anything over size 3 in dogfighting was like, what are you doing?
It's so different now.
Yeah.
Because so with the way Master Modes is, and especially with the whole tuning weapon, like the whole power capacity tuning that you have now in the PTU, now more than ever, it's gonna be a massive kind of like rock paper scissors battle.
Yeah, it's
You know?
that's gonna be interesting to like
Yeah,
figure
and
out
if you hit a
like
component. Yeah.
yeah, hitting a
'Cause if you
component
can-
is
you-
gonna be essential.
you can
And there's
hit
gonna be RNG too. It's gonna be like,
Yeah, you
oh
can
man, I
knock
took a hit
out-
to my shields. I gotta get out of here.
You can knock out a cooler and they'll shut down. Yeah. Because like I said, coolers play a big role now.
I mean, that's
The type
honestly
of
that's a good
coolers.
thing though, because like if you look at like the vision, do you guys ever watch like Love, Death, and
Means that
Robots on
component
Netflix?
sniping is gonna be way more important.
So there's this show called Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix,
Yes.
and it's
Yeah.
fucking amazing. You remember Lucky 13?
Yes.
That's what they want it to be like, and I don't blame them, because that shit was sick.
That's so questionable though, dude.
Well, I mean, from a
'Cause it's-
gameplay standpoint, yeah. How do you do it in a way that isn't fucking broken?
Not only
Yeah,
just
that's
from
a giant
gameplay
challenge.
Not only from a gameplay standpoint, it's hard for me, especially after like learning the flight model, coming to an understanding of the 6 dimensions of flight, considering we're flying in space.
Well, you know
right?
what the biggest, to me, the biggest part of this entire Chris Roberts vision, because I've watched so much stuff about just trying to be like, I want to understand where Chris Roberts' vision is coming from. The biggest part to me
Freelancer.
that's difficult about what Chris Roberts' vision is Chris Roberts never imagined, like he imagined this whole thing before actually seeing what an online large community actually was.
Not only that, going back to the whole flight thing, right? I get it, like, it's cool with the fucking Lucky 13 with that flight model there, but like I said, with me coming to understanding of the 6 dimensions of flight, considering we're flying in space and everything like that,
Right.
it makes no sense. Because if you look at Chris Roberts' vision for flight, you know what he was aiming for, right? He was
aiming for
the
Star Wars
World-
X-Wing.
No,
Getting on people's
World
tails.
World War II dogfighting, getting on people's tails, fucking.
That's what
Immelman
Star
and
Wars is
shit
based
like that.
on.
Yeah.
Star
and
Wars
I don't
actually, when you look
agree
at it,
with dude.
when you look at Star Wars from like an actual like physical sense or literary sense or anything, it actually has not a single thing to do with space.
Exactly. I think it's fucking stupid.
But I
This
think
whole
that's a big part of it. And Star Wars, like Chris Roberts' age is a big part of, like you cannot be Chris Roberts' age and not be heavily influenced by fucking Mark Hamill. It's impossible. It just won't happen. So like I'll give him that. Like that's a bias that I could predict 100% of the time. But it does pose a problem for us today in this game. And then the other thing is like, the flight model. He wants a Star Wars flight model. The online community. He doesn't want a real online community. He wants to play this game with 1,000 Chris Robertses.
1,000 yes man.
He wants to play the game with 1,000 people who only want to do what he wants to do. Like remember when I was talking about that passenger ship bullshit? I wasn't exaggerating. That was real. Chris Roberts wrote a detailed article about how he wanted one of the career paths in this game to be running passenger ships, and what you would do in his vision was go to like New Babbage and then like register your ship and your destination, and then wait for like 2-3 hours, and NPCs would and maybe a player or two would sign up to buy tickets on your flight, and on that flight you would have a team of 3 or 4 other players who would take drink orders from these guys, and they would play a mini game to make these it went on and on and on, and I'm telling you, not a single bit of that is exaggeration. I read those fucking stupid ass words with my own eyes. That is Chris Roberts' vision.
Around. Yeah, well, exactly. If you go inside of medical facilities and you go look at the microscopes, they say use.
Yeah, that's why they had to kick his ass away from development. It's because every time he had some stupid
those are
fucking
new things that just got
idea,
added.
he'd be like, hey guys,
So that's
new
still
priority.
Yeah,
Right. We're
so
still.
that's the thing. Is like there's going to be jobs that are going to be included even on space stations that are going to be so monotonous that nobody's going to really want to ever do them, right? But I guess
yeah.
you have to. because
Chris
you're
Roberts-
stuck there on your, as you said, Lamborghinis, right? You're going to
Exactly.
have to.
Chris Roberts is
It's
a visionary, just like George Lucas. You know, Star Wars
You're
is a
gonna be an
pretty neat.
NPC.
Star Wars is a pretty neat story. However, every single critic for 40 fucking years talked about how bad Star Wars was because of the dialogue, because they somehow allowed this visionary to still be in charge of dialogue. Between the prequel, like episode 4, 5, 6, episode 1, 2, 3, guess who wrote the dialogue? All that cringy bullshit. It was Mr. Visionary. Listen, recognize a visionary for what they are, but don't give them too much. Don't give them too much. You know? Chris,
like,
people joke on this
have you
game that it's
played
still
some
not
of his
out.
older
The thing
games?
is, yeah, I played Freelancer. One of the things
Yeah,
that got
see,
me
so
into this game
that's
was having
what-
experience
exactly.
in Freelancer.
That's,
like,
so
wow.
that's mine too. That's
Yeah,
the whole
I was
reason
like-
why I bought into this.
Yeah, because I was like, Freelancer had a pretty good idea.
It was fun too.
Yeah. But ultimately, the biggest problem was it didn't sell very well, it didn't get good Microsoft support, and it was largely single player.
Yeah, now we have like, what was it? We had like private servers, right, that had over 10,000 players, but the live servers were dead.
Right. And like those 10,000 player servers, they were flying shits like, you know, Serenity.
Yeah,
Like
they were
modded
actually flying the
ships
in-game
and-
campaign. Yeah, the campaign ships and shit.
But like,
Flying
you
for
know,
Rhineland security.
nobody ever forgot that Chris Roberts was the one that came up with the idea for Freelancer. Nobody ever stopped appreciating that. And the same with Star Citizen. Chris Roberts is the creator of Star Citizen. He was the idea man, and he was the first one to get the money flowing. And that is exactly when he should have stepped his ass fucking back. Because this game would have been out by now if he did.
Make the money, man.
He was. I mean, you want to see what the role of a money man is? Read fucking the book of Jurassic Park and just look at how John Hammond is.
Yeah, John Hammond got eaten.
Well, he did.
Like compies of all things.
Yeah, in the book. He survived in the movie because it was full of horse shit. But
It
no,
was
but
full of horse
the whole like moral of the story of Jurassic Park was that John Hammond spent so much money to give people the impression that he spared no expense. Even though, look at Nedry. He obviously spared tons of expenses. He had this horrible, one of his most important workers was the most disgruntled. He obviously spared some expenses, you know.
I mean, it was also the whole point of, like, you know, like Ian Malcolm even said it too, like, and even Dr. Grant actually voiced his concerns, right? The whole point is, like, the book of Jurassic Park it's a horror story. It's not a thriller. It's not an action adventure.
Well, it's also an
a horror
anti-capitalist
story.
example.
Because what they're making here, right? Dr. Grant says, you're not making dinosaurs. Dinosaurs went extinct.
Right,
You
they
were
did.
making abominations.
Right, you're making what you
Human-made
think dinosaurs were.
Abominations, yeah, because we don't know what these dinosaurs actually look like. So you're just taking whatever genetic property you feel and mixing it together and packaging it and selling it. And that was
Yeah,
they
and
had
you're-
at least put that in the film as Ian Malcolm.
Your
right,
first
at the
generation
dinner
of
table.
dinosaurs, they didn't learn from a mother full of instinct. So that
we
means
look at,
that
you know,
every
Muldoon.
generation following that was therefore completely just fucked, you know?
Yeah.
Because dinosaurs, fuck, they evolved over millions of years. But like the whole thing, the whole like capitalist context of Jurassic Park was the money people figured out what they can do, and also the other thing about John Hammond, when they go like into an in-depth like character analysis and history about John Hammond. And if you look at John Hammond's entire history, all of the things they talk about him, all of his strengths, and all of the things he's good at, the guy's literally a fucking con man. He's an insanely accomplished con man who's good at getting
God, I
rich
wish
people
I was
separated from their money. You know, like the whole thing about him starting the whole like genetics presentations, he had this tiny elephant, right? And then he would talk about at the crescendo of his genetics talks with all these money people and all these like various failed genetics businesses he was starting. He would whip off this, you know, cloth off the cage and reveal, hey, I've got an elephant that weighs 5 pounds. He's the size of a puppy. Now, what was hidden from all these people was that it was actually like 15 elephants because they kept fucking dying. And you couldn't also put your fingers anywhere near the cage because you'd lose them because they couldn't get the behavioral shit under control. But all of that he was really good at keeping hidden from the money people. And then what do you see? Fast forward Jurassic Park, you see Ian Malcolm, you see you know, Ellie Sattler, you see Alan Grant, you see all these people, you know, Donald Gennaro getting sold the Jurassic Park vision. By who? The con man. You know? And when the whole wonder part of like, wow, this is amazing, who's right there next to him? The con man. And then when they start to realize what all's going wrong, who's missing from the picture? Who's no longer shaping their perceptions? The con
when they
man.
realize why there's bars on the
Right.
welcome center.
And-
right?
and
Ellie
when they-
asks, why
and-
are there bars if it's
Right.
safe?
Well, like, and in the book, Ellie is a paleobotanist in the book. And she is in the movie too, but they don't really put much time into that. But she walks into the hotel area, and they go, look at this beautiful hotel. Look at that pool. And Ellie goes, that plant right next to the pool is toxic. Like, right off the rip. She goes,
Don't
that's
let it
fucking
touch
toxic.
it. Yeah.
She's like, why would you put that next to a fucking pool? In like the first 5 seconds of touching ground, she's like, that plant's toxic. Why the fuck would you put that next to a pool?
Because it looks nice.
Exactly. And there is a short
that
little
also
like
explores
excerpt
onto-
in the movie where she does talk about these plants are living, breathing beings who are fighting a constant war of survival or be killed, just like any animal.
I'm gonna drop a picture
Yeah,
too.
Michael Crichton's a fucking
Yep.
genius, but the movie kind of bastardizes
Oh.
a bit.
It does. Like, and I love his books, right? And that's why I was really sad when he passed away.
Yeah.
Um,
Also,
yes,
by the
I
way,
really
did you know that
love
Michael
his
Crichton
books.
was fucking 6'10"? I
Yes.
didn't know that shit. That guy was fucking giant.
Jesus fucking Christ, that's a tall dude.
That's a tall fucking
But,
dude. He's like one of the best
yeah, I
scientific, like
dropped it.
sci-fi writers ever, and he's also just like one of the biggest fucking dudes ever.
He was a wonderful thinker. Like every book that he wrote, like I really enjoyed Prey. Right, that was one that not a lot of people, I guess,
Ooh, Prey
picked
was
up.
really good.
Prey was wonderful, right? And so
I
when
found
I
it
saw the
a little
game
hard to
come
read
out
as a
and get
teenager.
popular, that's
But
fair.
like, it was very sciencey.
yes.
But I got through it, and I really did enjoy it.
And then you see like the media, the form of media that came from that, right? Where they re-envisioned it and they made it into a very popular game called Prey, right? Where there's
Yeah.
the mimics, right? Which are that's the source of the mimics in the whole like. premise
Dodson!
being the
It's
face of
Dogson!
the
It's
right?
Dogson! Dog,
The
dog,
mimics,
dog.
It was these
Arf.
nano machines that could assert themselves and change.
God, those
assimilate
things
into
are
even
fucking scary.
the shapes of people.
Yeah, they
Right?
like
and then they can
like
cut
the
through you
chick.
at a molecular level even.
the chick who like saw the
Yeah.
car going down the road and saw her husband like turn and wave, but it was actually the machines imitating the husband.
Yeah, and the husband thinking that, like, I think my wife's cheating on me. I'm pretty sure I saw a person, but maybe I'm just going crazy. And to find out that it's been looking at pictures of him
Yeah,
and turning into him.
that shit was a trip.
and, or,
One,
like, when
one
they get
Michael
into
Crichton I
when they
did
get into
make it
the
through was
office and they
Airframe.
ask how many chairs were in the room before they got in there, and they don't remember.
Yeah.
Now they're there sitting there. How many chairs were in the fucking room?
So Airframe to me, it was hard to keep up with. I wanted to like it, but it was like way too like aeronautic, and it was way too like into like the secrecy of the aeronautic community, which is hilarious considering all the shit that Boeing's done in the last year. Because it turns out he's a fucking prophet. All that shit was true. Like, oh, if you're trying to leak something about a new wing, they will kill you. Apparently that's true. It was true all along. And he wrote that book in the fucking 80s. But no, like ever since I was a fucking teenager, I would fucking read Jurassic Park, and I'd be like, hang on, is it actually possible to clone a dinosaur? Like, reading the science, I was like, that sounds kind of fucking possible. Like,
Yes, Harvard has done that actually already. They made what they believed to be a velociraptor, and then they promptly killed it because it was alive.
I heard, I heard differently. I heard that it was obviously scientific. It was science fiction because the simple matter of the fact that there is not a way to preserve DNA over that period of time. Period, flat out. Not with amber, not with fossils.
It becomes even more messed up because they made it, right, this velociraptor, right, based off of just gene editing with CRISPR.
Oh, so it was no source DNA.
Exactly.
Because there was no possible way.
Exactly the way Michael Crichton said, right?
Yep.
Human-made abomination.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck?
They ground up bones and got trace amounts of DNA, which anyone who knows anything about biology would read that and be like, that's fucking horseshit.
Yeah,
and then they also, you know, they got blood from mosquitoes that were trapped in amber, and the blood was preserved, which anyone would know that amber is porous, air gets in, and organic matter rots.
Rots and petrifies, and then we can't use it because it's, you know. Yeah.
But like my whole fucking teenage years, I was reading this shit, and I was like, that sounds fucking real,
we
dude.
have actual like mammoth flesh particle.
Right.
Like we gathered people like huge chunks of mammoth flesh. They want to do that, and they
want
want
to bet with a friend of mine over the fact they
they'll be
switched
impregnating,
the
actually,
kids
I
in the
believe,
movie
an
from the
Indian
book.
elephant. And
Wait,
having
really?
them
They
kept
didn't? Your friend didn't know
in
that?
Siberia for the initial.
Dude, that fucked with me because I saw the movie before I read the book. I saw the movie when I was like 6.
So yeah, they're already doing that. You might want to find that article, read up on it. Yeah, they're bringing back the mammoths, what they believe to be the mammoths.
Yeah, I believe that. Like, I'm not saying cloning is full of shit, but cloning dinosaurs is like, no, you can try to invent a dinosaur,
They will
but that's different than
I
cloning.
think that's the whole point of Jurassic Park, is that there's no way they could ever. That's the whole point.
If you tried to clone a dinosaur, it would be called inventing.
Yeah. So that is a true scam of Jurassic Park, right?
Well, yeah, and especially like you know, even if you believe that it was possible, right? Like, even if you, because like there's always suspension of disbelief in any science fiction. If you believe it's possible to clone a dinosaur, and you believe that Hammond had the right, not existentialism, eccentricism, and amount of money to sponsor someone who is willing to do the work. Like, okay, let's assume just for now that that's all true. You still have the fact that he skimped on every other part of the park to provide the illusion of safety without providing the safety. And he knew it. He knew it. I mean, Nedry, how did Nedry get disgruntled in the first place? Because he never got listened to, he got underpaid, he got overdemanded. He was a single guy writing millions of lines of code to automate an entire fucking park full of predators.
Yeah, and all he wanted in the beginning, right, was just help. He wanted them to hire more people. He needed a whole team.
Or to give him a little more time and a little more money. It was like one of the two. He would have taken either.
Yep.
And the thing was, like, he had a team.
Who stated that this is not a good idea. I've worked with game animals, and these are not game animals.
Right. And like in the book, Nedry had a team that was back in Cambridge that were all MIT grads, but like they were so limited because they weren't allowed to know what they were working on, so he could only give them the most general of assignments. Because he was the only one that had the clearance to know what actually was going on. So like, yeah, it was just all mismanagement, and every time he brought it up with Hammond, Hammond would be like, I'm not going to argue about money, you know, like, Hammond fucking
I hated.
was the actual villain.
Nedry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Nedry now is corporate espionage something that you should instantly resort to if you're disgruntled? Obviously, no. However, put yourself in Hammond's shoes. If you mistreat your people and underutilize them and undersupport them, it is inevitable. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when.
Like, I don't know about you two, but even when Jurassic World
He didn't,
was announced,
and he had read the book but forgot. Ooh,
I was a little
okay.
surprised the route they went with it, because I was expecting to see what we had. Because remember, Michael was already writing his third installment, right? Which he wanted to have a film adaptation, which would have been Jurassic World.
Well, that would have been Jurassic
it
Park
was-
3. Give me 1 second. I
Well-
gotta grab a piss and a drink, and then yeah. And we'll talk more about that, because Jurassic Park 3 is actually considered as like one of the worst sci-fi movies of all time.
It really is.
Zach, I'm falling asleep, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. You just go ahead and
Yeah.
rest your head on my shoulder, Dudo.
No,
I'll
you're
be
good.
here.
Just,
you know, you just-
just tell Sika I'm about to go fucking try to get some
that
stuff.
sounds good, dude. I got you.
See you guys in evening.
All right, dude. Have a good one.
Peace.
So, unpopular opinion, I like Jurassic Park 3, but it's for a reason that I think only people my exact age will agree with.
Okay, I'm willing to listen.
So, before my great-grandma Boynton died, me and my mom and my brothers, we were visiting her. It was just like some fucking Saturday, you know, and we're like, oh, we're going to go visit great-grandma, you know? And she mentioned offhand to my mother, hey, you know, Jurassic World, or this new dinosaur movie's playing. I think the kids would like it. I don't remember what year the movie came out, but I had to have been less than 10. And my brothers, they're both within a couple years of me. And so my mom, she knew that we were cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over like The Lost World, Jurassic Park, dinosaurs. So she was like, oh yeah, okay, all right. And so we ended up going. And the funny part was like, you know, we were riveted, we were scared, like we were everything a kid should have been during that movie. My great grandmother, she napped through the whole thing in the theater. Dinosaur roars and people screaming and dying. She fucking napped through the whole thing. But like, you know, I was into Jurassic Park. I was into The Lost World. I was a kid. You know, it was a lot of flashy CGI. I fucking loved it. But it wasn't lost on me how, like, from a literary sense, every movie they made, the series lost something. You know, like, I eventually read the book of Jurassic Park and The Lost World, and I was like, Jurassic Park was good. Jurassic Park did a good job, relatively, with the movies. The Lost World, what the fuck were they smoking? And Jurassic Park 3 was like, yo, what the hell? And then every movie after that, me and my brothers, we decided that we're still going to be fans of anything dinosaur related. However, we're going to switch teams. We're going to start rooting for the dinosaurs. And when it came to Jurassic World, I wasn't rooting for Chris Pratt. I think he did a good job, but I was rooting for the fucking pterodactyls that were tearing up those fucking tourists, dude. I was like, fucking get him, dude, let's get him. Like, oh, I was rooting like hell for those pterodactyls that were just ripping those tourists up, dude. I was like, fuck yeah, dude, kill streak. And when you look at it from that standpoint,
Your insurance claim has been
even the
your
shitty
vehicle
ones
has
get a
been moved to
lot more
storage facility.
enjoyable.
Yeah.
Vehicle
Because, like,
selected.
at a certain point, you have to
Stand by.
realize that the whole, like, moral lesson
Your
of capitalism
vehicle
is
has been
bad,
delivered
and they're
to
going to,
location.
like, you know, the whole Ian Malcolm line of, like, you were so worried about what could you didn't think about whether you should do. They just repeat that and throw it in your face every single movie over and over again in more and more obvious ways. So at a certain point, you have to decide to be like, you know what? He was fucking right from the beginning. Fuck the humans. The humans are the actual bad guy in these movies. The dinosaurs are just
also-
trying to eat, bro. They're just trying to
I also
eat.
didn't I didn't understand why they wanted to make in the films. They wanted to make Ian seem
Hammond
like
did buy the
a
high quality
creep,
Jeeps that start and run after being
because
abandoned after
in
20
the
years.
books, he
Those were
just
good
has
Jeeps.
a lot of kiddos. You know, he's a family man.
Wait, which Ian Malcolm in the books? Well, I mean, I wouldn't call him a
but then
family
he also
man.
abandoned his families at some point. But then Dr.
Well,
Grant as well. Like, I don't
he
know,
didn't have kids in the first
misportray
book.
The families.
He didn't have
Yeah.
kids in the first book. And then he had an estranged daughter from a divorce in the movie, but I don't think he had anything in the book, Ian Malcolm in The Lost World.
Or maybe I'm mistaken. Hold on here.
I don't think he had a kid. Alan Grant was not in The Lost World.
No.
He was brought back. So part of the thing that I didn't like about Jurassic Park 3 that, especially as an older dude, I started realizing is like, it's very obvious that Alan Grant was in love with Ellie Sattler and he's like jealous that she married someone else and had a kid in Jurassic Park 3. Whereas when you read the book, there was no love story between
No,
them.
it wasn't. They're just colleagues.
They were colleagues and they were friends and they respected the hell out of each other. And they seriously just, there was no connotations of that between them. There was no love story at all in Jurassic Park, the book. I can't think of anybody who was in love with anybody else.
No,
Except for Hammond with his grandkids.
A creek. I would say they just portrayed Ian Malcolm as a creep. I remember in the film for some reason. I remember that was weird.
I think that Hollywood just kind of like put a little bit of like bachelor, like Hollywood bachelor on his character because they felt they had to.
Yeah, that might be good.
I'm pulling my Corsair, by the way. Yeah, the more racing I did, the lower my FPS got, and there's just like you can't go for a record time in my mind with trying to fucking restart your whole client every 5 laps. I was starting to lock in, but it was still to the point where it was like I'm pulling back on the stick to pre-nose for a hard turn, and the FPS is so low that I'm just missing that pre-nose every time. But no, yeah, Evil does bring up a good point. Hammond apparently did buy some amazing fucking electric Jeeps because they were electric in Jurassic Park, and then in Jurassic World, 20 years later, motherfuckers were just hidden in a garage and they were still running. Imagine that.
Evil saw boss. You can't
Yeah.
contain the level of sexiness Goldblum. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Sexiness Goldblum brings. Dude, I have a bit alert based off that. I made one. You know, like that like little fucking beat that somebody made? I got a GIF of that, and I took some audio of it, and I made a, like, when people give me bits, I have 3 different bit alerts, and it randomly picks which alert to use. That's one of them.
That's awesome.
One of them is the Goldblum. Because, dude, imagine if literally anyone but Jeff Goldblum did Ian Malcolm, dude. We wouldn't have had that. Like, imagine if we lost, as a human race, if we lost out on that. Imagine if Jeff Goldblum never delivered that performance to us.
I mean, that might be possible. You know, the Mandela effect and shit, right? Right?
Yeah. You